Obnoxious to some, but he's not to me. He's always there when I'm in need. My friends are that's why my girlfriend can cry, but he's my friend Blashe. My best friend Blashe.
My co-creator, Bentley Potter, and myself started My Friend Blashe based on the characters from a little short film we did called The Defensive Unoriginal Dude.
He rolls out to the right. He chucks it downfield.
Just some guys watching the game, drinking some wine.
The original idea came about when Bentley and I were writing a dark comedy short, is what we called it. We reached a writer's block on that script. We needed a break from it, and having a glass of wine and chatting and busting each other's chops like usual, and we just started to have some banter back and forth.
Just came up with these two characters at the end, maybe out of exhaustion or just, just whatever, lack of creativity, and all of a sudden we just struck on these two characters. Hey, that was pretty funny. We should do something with that.
After a few minutes, we just said, wouldn't that be funny to just throw like a little 5-minute short together based on what we're saying right now? That's pretty much what we did. And that's who we based the characters from My Friend Blashe off of, The Defensive Unoriginal Dude. And it was these two characters, and they were good friends. And one was really annoying and over the top, and the other one just had to deal with it all the time.
It just kind of felt right that Blashe would be obnoxious and just over the top and annoying and just be that guy. And it just kind of, like, of the two of us, it felt like it had to be Blashe. Blashe versus Denny. Denny would be the more relaxed, laid-back voice of reason, and Blashe would just be over the top, annoying.
We had finished filming it, and we were about to put that out, and we said, you know what, if this is a good idea, then why don't we expand it based on these two characters?
And Tim, a couple weeks later, is like, hey, do you want to do a sitcom based on these two characters? I'm like, let's do it. Let's. This is fun. Sure, sitcom. Yeah, why not? And so we just started writing, and every Friday night we would get together and we would just start writing. And at first it was just kind of ideas, and then it just started becoming episodes, and we kept rolling with it, and it felt really great. But yeah, it was born out of these two characters that we made up at the end of a writing session, and it just something we both kind of did that little. Let's go with that.
Then we ended up writing about 8 episodes, and we went with 4 for the first season. And we're really happy to be at the place we're at, where we have 4 episodes completed, filmed, and out there, and just about ready to release the DVD.
How about putting in a good word here for old Sal with the waitresses?
Which one's Sal?
I'm Sal. There's only one Sal.
Sal Mastriano he's my cousin, Frank Wachowski. He's new to the acting world, but he's like a natural. He did a great job as Sal. He was the only other person in our original 5-minute short, The Defensive Unoriginal Dude. He had a little cameo in that.
Well, I still can't believe you hooked up with Sal.
You can't believe that I hooked up with Sal. I can't believe that you hooked up with Sal.
What the f***?
People loved him, especially people who knew him. They're like, hey, you gotta get Frankie involved more. He did a great job. We used to joke around with Frankie when we played ball together and stuff. We'd always over-exaggerate the Italian accent, because once in a while he'll come out with something that's got a little bit of an Italian zing to it, and it's appealing. So we kind of ran with that, and we over-exaggerated it a little bit, and he's done an awesome job with it. I mean, even when we write like this slang almost in the scripts, he just takes it his own way and runs with it.
Hey, yo, Slugats, what are you doing here?
What's up, sis? He's really been a natural, and he's done really well with the Sal character.
He left these in my car.
Thanks.
Listen,
Hey, Jill.
what the?
Summer and I are good friends. We work together in many different facets of life. We met probably about 10 years ago. She's a vocalist, she's a beautiful singer. So I was a musician before I became a filmmaker, and I worked with her on a couple music projects. She did a great job as my lead in Spin Slowly. I knew she did theater and drama and things like that, but I didn't realize that she had an interest in comedy until I had posted a casting call for the lead for Denny's girlfriend in My Friend Blashe.
I saw a post on Facebook saying he was looking for a role that I could fill. So I think I got in touch with him.
And she called me, and she had said, I can do this. I know I can do this. So I told her to come over and do a read-through with us, and me and Blaze just looked at each other and said, we have our Jill.
He told me what the role was, and he was like, listen, I thought about you, but you're gonna have to play my girlfriend, and we may be a little awkward about that.
Before she left that night, I said to her, well, just so you know, there's, a later scene that, we're gonna have to have a makeout scene. We're gonna have to kiss.
I thought about it and thought, are we gonna have to kiss? And the two of us were like giggling and thought like, oh, let's just try it. It may be a disaster, but let's just try it. So we did, and there was only one kissing scene and we faked it.
I can remember it being the middle of August and shooting that scene in a closed room, a small bedroom, room full of people, with a huge comforter over us, and it was about 95 degrees in the room because you can't have fans or ACs going. And I can remember looking at her right before the camera started and just saying, you know what, if you lean in close enough, I think we can just... She's like, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I totally feel that. I know we can pull this off. So we kind of avoided the whole thing, and it made it a little more comfortable for both of us.
It was really fun. It was really fun to like challenge our relationship and go for that. We were both pretty awkward about it because we've been friends for so long. And him, your friend Blashe.
My friend Blashe.
You guys need to grow up.
At first, Blashe liked Jill, and I think toward the end he got a little tired of Jill because she wasn't becoming a fan of Blashe, and Blashe kept trying to win her over as a good guy, and it just wasn't working. And I think finally Blashe just gave up and said, "That's it. The fix is in."
We should just order.
Oh, whoa, slow it down. We gotta get some drinks in us first, get nice and loose. You know my rep with loose women, Den.
Oh, I do.
Gross.
You could say that again.
Gross. As soon as I think like of Jill's point of view, this is really annoying. Like, yeah, I feel for her. You know, like if you're like a serious person, you just want, not even, she doesn't even have to be that serious. Blashe is obnoxious. And she just wants to like have this boyfriend and have the time she wants to have, but she can't. And it's frustrating. And like the fact that Denny can't see that, he can't have her back once in a while.
As long as you don't make any noise,
Den?
you can crash on the couch.
Cool. Won't even know I'm here.
We kind of talked with Summer a little bit after a couple episodes, and she's like, boy, you really make me a mean, miserable person. Something along those lines. I was like, you know what, yeah, maybe we should change that a little bit. But it was mainly, the idea behind that was to just make two characters very contrasting with a mediator in the middle, and that way we could really establish a little background behind all three characters.
I work for $2.50 an hour plus whatever tips these schlubs decide to drop on my table. I live in a small studio apartment. I'm behind on my bills. My girlfriend left me, and this job sucks.
I had been in contact for a while with Andrew right after I started making films, and I knew he did some acting, and I kept sending him little messages and saying, Andrew, I'm going to get you involved at some point. I'd love to work with you.
He contacted me and asked me if I'd like to have a small role in this show he was doing. So I said, yeah, sure, sounded like a great time.
I said, listen, we need a kind of a sarcastic waiter for the second episode of Blashe. I said, we're hoping you could pull this off. Do you want to come over and read for this? And from the first time he took the script and read through it, Blashe and I, Bentley and I, just we laughed hysterically because it's almost as if we wrote the waiter character for him, because he was perfect for the part.
I'll take some food.
Blashe.
Would you like to hear tonight's specials?
Yes.
Tonight we have a glazed tenderloin.
I
with
think
a
we know what we want.
You know, comedy is all about, you know, conflict and opposites. It sort of came to me right away that Blashe is this very loquacious guy who likes to have fun. So a good way to do comedy with that is have somebody who's not any of those things. And, you know, comedy is all about people disliking each other and not getting along and that kind of thing. And that seemed like a good way to do something funny, is just have him be somebody who really doesn't like loquacious people.
Herm. We love Herm. He is a fan favorite. When he made his debut in the Double Date episode, everybody immediately was like, that waiter. Like, I know people like that. I've known waiters like that. He nailed it. And I was like, yeah, that was the goal. He was fantastic.
I like to think I can interact with people a little bit better than Herm can. He's very angry about his life, and he blames everybody around him for it. And when people come up to him and all, like especially Blashe, all happy, I don't think I'm like that too much.
I just want to sit here and enjoy my beer.
So things aren't all coming up roses. We'll turn around.
We've increased his role as episodes have gone on. And now for season 2, we're going to give him an even bigger role because he's been so much fun to work with. He's so professional and he's so good at what he does. And most of all, everybody mentions him. When they watch the series, they always mention, hey, that waiter guy. So he's in. I've just been very lucky with some of the people I've known and I've worked with in the past that I've been able to work with again, and some of the people we've casted have just really fit well. There's been great chemistry on the set.
It seems like with this set in particular, everybody seems to be on the same page, which is like really great. It makes it very easy. Everybody has their role. Some have multiple roles. Yeah, you know, it's like they're all really great. We just, you know, Tim does a great job of finding these talented people that just, we plug them right in and they do it, and they do it great. And so we're pretty lucky.
The biggest challenge I had with being the director, co-writer, co-producer, as well as being one of the supporting actors was I realized that you can't wear so many hats and be successful at every task. So while shooting the first episode, my assistant director, Sarah Brady, who was running camera, done an excellent job for us. I pulled her aside and I said, you know, I think I'm going to need you to take on a little bigger role because I really need to try and get into character. If I'm going to have fun with this and relax and portray the character the way I want to portray him, I'm going to have to just kind of concentrate on the acting side of it.
I first met Tim working on the set of his Purgatory series. I find his whole process interesting. He's very meticulous. He likes everything to be done well. But I also find he's really helpful and open and friendly, which is nice. It's not intimidating. He's open to the process of learning, and he's okay if you make a mistake. Just try to do better next time.
Her role got bigger and bigger on set as each episode went on. She's like a sponge. She absorbs everything so quick, and she's such a big help on set.
Sarah is very down to earth. I loved working with Sarah. I was so surprised when we were in Rudigan's that my manager of Dutch Village doing Gloria's hair. And then on top of that, Tanya, who I worked with in Burlington Coat Factory, it was like a family reunion.
So working on Blashe was so fun. Like Tim and I reconnecting felt really, really good. And then getting to know Bentley, who AKA Blashe, he's so awesome too. I loved being around those guys, and being in guy energy felt really good. A good place to let that out and be one of the guys, and it felt really cool.
Tim's a great director. He's also a great guy. It's just a lot of fun working with him. He's very supportive of the whole cast and crew, too.
It's been really great working with everyone here. Really comfortable to work with, and just had a fun time.
I really enjoy doing Summer's hair. We do it the same way every time, or for different scenes, how to make it mess, but she's very easy to work with.
It was a lot of time working on this hair. I mean, it's humongous. It's like a monster. And she would straighten it, so it would take a really long time. She would straighten it and then put life back into it. So we sat and talked a lot.
Everybody new that we have introduced to the cast or crew has just clicked, and it's been really great. We've been very blessed. Favorite My Friend Blashe moment? Probably the entrance into the house with Peaches.
Denny! What is this? It's a doll.
When I had to come in real excited and out of control while holding a blow-up doll, that definitely is up there.
My favorite Blashe moment, I think when Blashe is waving with the doll.
Why do you think this is so funny?
No,
Oh my gosh! This is one of the reasons we need to take a break.
Shooting at the Rowdigans on episode 2 was just a lot of fun. I mean, just total laughs, and trying to keep quiet during the shooting was really hard.
So, Mindy, what are you gonna have?
I'm a vegetarian. What are my choices?
We're at a steakhouse.
You can have the salad bar.
Although the waiter, his deadpan delivery was really great.
My favorite moment of my character in the show was my very first appearance, where I'm waiting on their table and they're all having a great time, and I just hate them all, you know. And I had fun telling the lady, trying to explain a salad bar to the one lady. That was fun.
What is that?
It's a salad bar. You go up and you get salad. You can eat it before your dinner or as a meal. You know, salad.
I loved that scene, and I loved working with Grace. And then Andrew as well, being the waiter. I don't think we laughed so hard. Like, he couldn't get through his lines because we were all laughing.
I was a big fan of episode 2. I love the double date. I watched that one a lot more than the others, I think. I look around in the background and I look at all these friends and relatives and people we know that came out to spend their afternoon shooting with us. And they're sitting around at the bar and they're sitting around at the table. They're just all background, and they did just an absolute fabulous job.
In the restaurant, and then my parents were extras, and they're like facing me. So that felt like extra special to have my parents there. And then the whole energy of the place, there were so many people there, like participating and giving their energy and their time to the show, and it just felt really cool.
Definitely the Creeper is probably near the top. We always, when we were writing that episode, we envisioned, you know, this guy, and we would die laughing when picturing this guy coming out of nowhere, grabbing this doll unbeknownst to us and taking off. And so to see it actually happen, that was definitely one of my favorite, like, you know, extras moments there. That was really great.
My absolute favorite is when Tim and I, or Denny and Jill, are in the bed and and Blashe is trying to come in to use the bathroom.
Son of a bitch. Go away!
So we got nothing to worry about, huh, Dan?
The door's locked.
Denny! Denny!
Ignore him.
Ignore him.
I gotta use your bathroom, real quick.
You're kidding me, right?
There's one down the hall.
I already did that. It's no longer in service.
What'd you do?
I gotta go.
Blashe, this is not a good time. Go outside.
Sometimes when I pee, I poop.
Get out of here.
This is a joke, right?
No joke.
It was just so fun. Like, shooting it was really fun, and then I think that came across in the film too.
But I really enjoyed the way Tim and Summer just reacted like it was just like a regular night and there was no cameras there. It was very natural.
It's the second door on the top of the stairs.
What's up, Doc?
You must be Blashe.
This guy's good.
I've met some Blashes in my time, you know. People get so mad at them, but I just think they don't really know what they're saying. Like, just like look at it lightheartedly. Like, it doesn't matter. Just slap it off. Like, they do weird things. They're entertaining.
I've had a couple of friends in the past that act like Blashe. I mean, they're just really, sometimes they're out drinking and carrying on, and they really, really sometimes are inconsiderate with what they say with their friends, but then they laugh it off later on.
I think everybody has a friend like Blashe at some point in your life, and even though sometimes you're probably ashamed of him, but you still love him because he's your best buddy. And I've had a few people like that, and it puts a little more excitement in your life. You know?
It really is okay.
There we go.
Comfortable?
Yes, Denny. Thanks for asking.
I guess just that Blashe is obnoxious, yes, but he's also really sweet, and like I think that comes across that he doesn't mean to be obnoxious and inappropriate, but so I love that about the character, that he's like, you know, more than just one thing. He's like, you know, you can't help but love him, you can't help but hate him. Or Jill can't. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a Blashe character in my life that I guess you could say he's probably based, is who we based Blashe off of, and his name's Bentley Potter.
Yeah, Bentley Potter. Not quite. He's definitely an original.
Bentley has much more highly developed social skills. He's a much more suave, cool guy than Blashe is. They're both fun-loving, nice guys, but Bentley has the ability to sort of rein it in and not cause social destruction all around him, which is certainly good in real life. Social destruction is great comedy, but if it actually happens in real life, it's not funny. Yeah, Bentley's a great guy.
He's a very reminiscent to my younger self, and when I say younger, I mean like my childhood self. Like, I was very much like that. I think you can ask anybody who grew up with me and they'll say, okay, that's Bentley when he was like 5 or 6, you know, like that's very similar, I would say. And then obviously as you grow up and mature and you have a life and responsibility, that side of you gets a little suppressed. But so this has been a kind of an avenue for young Bentley to make a reemergence into the world, and I really like that.
We're very proud of the uniqueness of a lot of our, not just the flashback scenes, but a lot of the special effects, a lot of the sound effects. It's definitely original, it's definitely different. That post-production aspect, as well as the writing, are both really the reason why we feel comfortable calling it a reality comedy. We came up with an original term because it kind of combines reality TV with sitcom comedy.
The idea of a reality comedy, I think it takes everyday people, almost everyday situations, but it exploits them a little bit, blows them up a little bit. It kind of pokes fun every day, and it just kind of makes you take a lighter touch to things, like it's not that big of a deal. Like, look at the funny side. Don't always be so serious, maybe.
We had agreed that from the beginning, no matter if people liked it or not, we'd have fun and we'd give it a shot, and if we did get enough of a positive response, we'd go on to season 2. And if that was good, we'd go on another. And we kind of agreed we're just gonna keep it going and have a good time, and that's the most important thing. And if it gets picked up and things positively happen and it steamrolls, then great. You know, we obviously want the biggest and best for it, but for people to message us and email us and call us and text us and say, not only they liked an episode that just came out and great job guys, but to want to know when the next one is coming out and kind of be full of anticipation for the next Blashe is very rewarding. So
it seems like as a whole, everybody really enjoys it and loves to be a part of it. And I have people come up to me all the time, hey, how can I be a part of this show, whether it's as an extra or just helping with being part of the crew. Yeah, there's definitely some building momentum, and there's a buzz, and they're curious. If they don't know what it is, they want to know, and people that are involved want to continue to be involved.
I just have a great appreciation for people who want the experience of coming out and being a part of it. The reason we do these behind the scenes and the bloopers after every episode is to just let people see what it's like on set and how much fun it really is. I think when you can spend a day away from work and outside your regular routine and be with a bunch of people who welcome you in, and they're like a family, and there's a lot of laughs, and you can watch yourself after, no matter if it's background or cast or crew, you can see yourself after being a part of it and how much fun it was. I think it's rewarding. I'd like to welcome any and everybody to get involved. It's been a great experience for me. I have a great appreciation for, you know, everything the cast and crew has done to make this successful. And I really hope it continues, because there's a great camaraderie on set, and it's, like I keep saying, it's very much a family atmosphere. So we look forward to the future, and as long as we have the time and the money to keep it going as long as possible. So thank you.
So we're done?